And
Rick, Obama said that that people, when the Affordable Health Care Act came up, that people could keep their doctors and the insurance premiums would go down. Also, Lance, the Republicans have been they've been for years and years and years now. They've been running on the fact that they're going to repeal Obamacare, and now they have the chance to do it, and looks like it's not going to happen. So, what are your comments about that? First of all, Rick, in terms of Obamacare.
All right. Well, in the current climate, you never want to say, particularly as a Democrat, you never want to say something that's demonstrably false, because you will never. It's like my mom still brings up shit that I did that was embarrassing 45 years ago. And the Republicans will never let the Democrats forget, the shit that they said that was wrong. Obama said that you could keep your medical providers, and that turned out to not be true in, I don't know what percent of cases, but that's been hammered home by the Republicans a gazillion times since Obama said it. He fucked up in saying that. So I can't defend that, except that in a big, in this massive bill, in this massive attempt at improving the lives of Americans, the Democrats got some shit wrong. It doesn't mean that the whole thing should be scuttled and replaced with a crazily bullshitty replacement that turns out to have not been well prepared for, because the Republicans had thought that there was no way that they would have a Republican president who would ratify or sign, or whatever presidents fucking do, a repeal and replace bill.
All right, well, obviously Obama lied because he's a dirty, filthy liar that wanted to make America socialist. So that's why he lied to the American people and said, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor.
Hold on.
You had your time.
Yeah, but let me just bring in that saying that I like. It says, never attribute to malice what can be accounted for through stupidity, which means fuck-ups are more likely than plots.
Well, no, one of the planners of the Obamacare, remember the guy, he made a speech where he said, we deliberately made the Obamacare stuff as complicated and lengthy as possible because we were counting on the stupidity of the American people. Yeah, there was one of the architects of Obamacare actually said that in a speech.
You can find probably a dozen quotes from political figures that talk about.
Yeah, Republicans don't need to lie to the American people.
No, but well, Trump has a quote. I don't know if it's for real or if it's apocryphal, but where he talks about if he was going to run for office, he'd run as a member of a certain party because the voters are dumb in that party.
Well, but,
there's a lot. You can always find somebody saying.
We're not talking about you can always find somebody saying that. We're talking about the president lying to people in order to get something passed. And then it turns out that one of his spokesmen gives a speech saying, yeah, we were trying to confuse the American people. That's an event with evidence to back it up.
Well, then you have to
It has nothing to do with everybody lies. Now, I'm going to answer the question about the Republicans, because I don't want to hear your spineless excuse. It sickens me.
Well, even if he lied, say, I'll give you, he lied about it. I don't think he did, but all right, I'll give you that. Is that still like just enough justification that some people had to switch doctors to fucking scuttle the whole deal?
Yes, I don't want America to be a socialist country. Do you know that they've got people? Did you hear about the baby this week? They had a baby in England.
Baby,
yeah, the British baby. Yeah. Yeah, you want to tell me about that?
Yeah, well,
socialist medicine.
The baby, a bunch of doctors have looked at the baby's case. And they said that the baby's a goner, that it's unlikely that any therapy, any proven therapy is not going to work. you can't fix the baby.
Okay.
There's an experimental therapy in America.
Yes.
And they looked at that thing and they said, yeah, you know, you could try it, but all you're doing is prolonging the baby's misery. It's not
Okay.
going to work either. Trump
Okay.
said, all right, bring the baby over. We'll try the, you know, and try the experimental therapy.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so you could argue, what, that a bunch of doctors are socialists because they say the therapy's not going to work, we don't want the baby to suffer anymore. That's not socialism, that's a medical judgment.
Actually, I'll tell you what it is. It's a bunch of filthy, heartless socialists that are willing to kill a baby
No, it's fucking...
because you guys...
Remember Leah
You
Trill
guys
in the 70s
you
and
guys
80s?
want to take freedom away from people. The parents of that baby were trying to save the kid's life any way they could, and good old America was willing to try to help, and you're on the side of the baby killers. How do you like that, Mr. Love Peace Liberal?
Let's see how the baby does.
The guy that really cares about people, huh? And Republicans, we're just heartless. We thought maybe we'd take a chance and save the baby.
So take the chance. I don't give a shit.
No, you don't give a shit, do you?
No, you're not.
What you really want is socialist government making the decision for the parents,
No,
right?
it's doctors making the decision.
I don't give a damn if it's
doctors.
making.
They're not making a
gods.
socialist.
They're not gods.
All right,
it is
so-
the parents that make the decision. But because you're a socialist, you will give the decision to the governmental doctors, won't you?
It's not about socialism. The doctors don't
It's
want...
about tyranny, and that's what socialism leads
The
to.
doctors say that therapy's not going to work. It'll just prolong the baby's
So they
suffering.
get the decision to kill the baby, right, Rick?
They said the shit's not going to work. I guess if you...
Thank you, socialism.
It's not
Let's cut.
socialism to
I'm
not
done.
want the baby to suffer. The doctors looked at the therapy. They looked at the kid. They said the kid is...
Sorry, it's disgusting.
It's
I
not
can't
fucking
listen to it anymore.
socialism.
I'm
It's a
taking my
bogus.
break now.
It's a bogus argument.
Excuse me.
It's doctors
I'm leaving
making
the
a
studio.
decision using
Lights
their
out.
medical knowledge that this attempt at therapy is not going to work. It's too long a long shot, and considerations for the baby itself say this. You don't want to do this. It's like Terry Schiavo, the Florida coma lady, whose brain had turned to tapioca. She had no brain activity. She was done. She was a vegetable, and pro-lifey type, you know, including like Jeb Bush, like shanghaied the decision from the husband who said, she's done, she's not, there's nobody there, her brain is irretrievably gone. But no, you have to defend the life of this person who, according to all the medical diagnostics, had no life, but we're going to keep her alive anyway because we want to make a political stand that's pro-lifey.
Notice how the Democrat has to change the subject.
I'm just saying it's analogous.
The Democrat
Analogous.
has to come up with something that's completely not
You do that
analogous.
shit all the time, Lance. You do that shit all the
He's gotta
time.
come up
But
with
let's go
it.
back to the baby. Let's go back to the
Yeah,
baby.
the American doctors thought they could maybe save the baby. But because you're a socialist, you'd rather let the
It
baby
has nothing
die.
to do with socialism. It has to do with medical judgment.
You know what?
Yeah,
They
and
sought a
families
second
make
opinion.
this kind of judgment all the
In
time.
a capitalist society, the parents get a chance. They have freedom of choice. If they didn't like their doctor, they could find another doctor.
So that's what this
But
family...
because a guy like Obama lies, they would end up stuck with the doctors that want to kill their baby.
You know, people...
It's right there in front of you, public. It's right there. I'm turning the light back on. Here you see it. The socialism enables a series
has
of doctors
nothing
to
to
let a
do-
baby die. It takes the choice away from the
This
parents.
has nothing to do with socialism. People make tough medical decisions all the time.
But in a capitalist country, people have the right to get other people involved. They can choose their doctor.
Doctors have
they
the
can
right-
choose their service.
Doctors have the right to make medical decisions.
Right, but in a socialist country like you want us to be, they have the final word. Don't you understand? They're taking the freedom away from the parents. The parents wanted a different opinion.
The baby's got less than a 1%
It's
chance.
none of your business, Rick. I live in a free country, not a socialist country, not a tyranny. I get to seek out another medical opinion. You want to take that right away from people. You want us to live in a tyranny.
Lance is arguing that we have death panels, or that Obamacare equals death panels with this. But it's somebody has terminal cancer. You have to decide what treatments you're going to do to prolong life and whether they are worth it for the extra weeks or months of life you're going to get.
It's not your decision.
This is I'll give you this. It's a special situation, and it's especially exploitable because you've got a baby who looks pretty fucked. But there's this teeny sliver of a chance, according to some American doctors, that this therapy might buy the baby some more life. The British doctors say, not going to happen.
It's not their decision, it's the parents' decision.
So anyway, you have this precisely balanced situation that can be exploited by people who want to say that socialism kills babies, which is bullshit. It's a baby who's on the verge of death, and this really iffy thing. Remember Laetrile in the 70s, which was
Stop talking about other subjects. That doesn't help you.
It's a therapy that it almost certainly won't work. Should they have a shot at it? I guess so, but I mean...
No, you don't guess so. You're in favor of socialist medicine.
It's not so... It's a fairly unique situation.
It will happen all the time, Rick. And in the world you create, so many people will die because they don't have the freedom to go anywhere else.
I love this because you just stepped in some AHCA
Ah,
poop.
he's coming.